come here with you and not ask you, what's the one thing you've learned in this first term? Because technically this is your first term.
Yeah.
If indeed, let's play the devil's advocate, you win and you become the next president and so on in May 29, what would you do differently?
If you talk about differently, yes, of course. If you stay somewhere, you may begin to adjust the way you do certain things, because I've realized that in society, what people assess you more is it's not the real things you do, but how you get those things done. Probably because the common story people say is that, oh, the president meant well for this country. Yes, I meant well for this country. Anybody who's close to me, and I'm passionate about Nigeria. But they say, oh, people around the president do, people around the president do. So of course, then, of course, you must be very watchful about the actions and inactions of people around you, so that you don't continue to drag the reputation of the government into jeopardy. Wrongly or rightly, it's not as if some of them have done anything wrong, but the perception is worse than real. Sometimes you who is sitting there know the exact thing, but if the perception is different, you have issues. I'm just telling you about a university professor who said he came to my house. That man has never visited State House. Even if he has come here for a general program in banquet hall, I may not know. But coming to my residence, I'm not sure he has even visited my residence. Who told Nigerians that they gave him one full turkey in a house that they don't even serve turkey? So and if he pushes that story, yes, of course, we'll manage the perception better. And if you strengthen that sector, the image of government will improve. Because most of the problems we're having is the perception, not real. Because if you talk about concrete things that this government have done, we can challenge any group within these 4, or even if you put 5 years, and let's even add the 1 year using completing your advanced 10 and 5 years. If you take, let me go to I'm not even things that are not too tangible. If you look at a body called the PTDF, Petroleum Technology Development Fund, it's used for technical training. From the monies have been given to that institution. The number of youths we have trained within these 5 years for technical training at sub-graduate level, at the graduate level, masters and PhD, including pilots and so on. The number of people we have trained from that institution within these 5 years is more than the number of youths they have trained from inception to that institution. What were they doing with the money?
Inception. You do it differently. Maybe I let my colleagues ask one question each. Because I mean, I come from a home where my husband shares the same views. If only people knew how fantastic doing that is. I don't know. But what about you?
Okay, Mr. President, you mentioned that you had a chat with your main challenger, that's General Buhari, during the last Council of State meeting. There has been a lot of mudslinging in this campaign. A lot of things have been pushed out, especially about him. Can you tell us your own personal assessment of that man? What do you think about Buhari?
No. If I should assess Buhari under the condition where 2 of us are contesting for one position, I don't think I will be fair to Nigerians, and I'll be fair to myself. It's not proper. You are not being fair to me to ask me that question. If you talk about mudslinging, I think it's worse. I think the garbage that is poured on me is much more than the ones. Not pure what I'm talking about. Because people come to me and say, President, in the social media, they've done this, they have done that, they have done that. I say, well, that is the cross we have to carry. Because I said that's the cross a leader will carry. I know certain things that happen, and the kind of effect on me, a number of people don't know, but have to carry it wrongly or rightly. So, but if you talk about Buhari, I don't, social media, I don't, in fact, I don't even have the time no, definitely if you are sitting where I'm sitting, you don't really have the time. So I may not know much about what is happening. But in my opening statement, I told you that some of the things I observe, I feel sad. I feel sad.
Personally.
And I say yes, and I say that it is not the way to go. And I said that, look, Buhari contested 2003 against Obasanjo, contested 2007 against late Yaradua, which I ran as his running mate, contested against me 2011, but even 2011, it was the closest. The environment was different. These issues we are describing as the mudslinging statements that we're supposed to make were not there. But so I said that the characters around us
have
changed, and that is changing the principles. And I remember when, of course, APC started their campaign before me. I think they visited almost 4 states before PDP started. And I watched some of the rallies. And if you listen to me, the way I spoke in Lagos, I was a bit aggressive. Yeah, because the kind of statements that people made, it was not proper.
Can we just summarize that as sign of the times? You know, tension is high and mudslinging is going on, but it doesn't change the fact that we have the opportunity to clear some of these issues. So, Mr. President, you forgive us for asking such questions, but we have to ask them. They are hard.
Yeah,
we must ask them.
You should ask.
We just have 1 minute each on both sides, so Mr. President can round up, so we can.
Final question then will be.
Final question.
I want you to respond to the issue of campaign financing. I mean, we've seen a lot of money spent on the campaign trail. I mean, we've heard from what we have seen, it's not as if, and because political parties do not disclose how much they spend. Your party, for instance, raised 21 billion naira. Are you bothered at the amount of money that we spend in our campaigns, and would you want to do something to correct that situation?
In terms of amount of money being spent, it's been regulated by INEC laws. But the pressure on anybody contesting election, either a councillor at the local government level or a chairman of the council, state assembly, up to the president, the pressure is quite high.
Pressure from where, sir?
No, the pressure from the people, because I've been in politics from 1998-99, and I ran as a deputy governor today. So there's always so much pressure on people want to. Those are the things that worry us. That if there will be less pressure, most of this has nothing to do with even the formal elections. But if you talk about my party raising money, the PDP has been raising money. That money that PDP launched was merely to build their secretariat. That, you know, we have a secretariat we've been building. It has been hanging. It was not money for election. No, it was not for election. And what you mentioned as 21 billion, those are pledges. Did you see the cash?
Okay. So, Ivana?
My final question, Mr. President. Do you have confidence that INEC, as presently constituted, will conduct free, fair and credible elections for this country?
I told you that I appointed everybody in INEC, the chairman of INEC, I appointed him, the national commissioners and the resident electoral commissioners. I appointed them and they will do the work.
Sir, I would like to round up this now, sincerely. I would have liked to spend 3 hours with you, but you've communicated quite clearly to us that the nation is more important than even the current sitting president.
Yes, of course.
Very particular about what, and it's appealing to everybody on what sides. Although I wonder about the fact that there's only 2 parties we hear. There are many other parties. Abi. So, but I would like you to do your closing statement. You know, let Nigerians hear from you what your closing thoughts are.
Let me reassure Nigerians that elections will be conducted in this country and the government will be inaugurated on the 29th of May this year. And let them not be perturbed by stories that are not real. Oh, Mr. President want to send the INEC chairman on 3 months terminal leave and bring somebody that will manipulate elections for him. It's okay, so these are stupid things that people insinuate. Those stories, it belongs to the garbage world. I think those of you who use computers, there's this language like garbage in, garbage out. If you put rubbish into the computer, it will send rubbish to people. And the stories people read, less than 20% of it, especially in the social media, less than 20% of it that you can really say that this is a credible story. Even if there is some credibility, it's overpainted. The colors they give distort the whole story. And when a story is distorted, the information that that story communicates is always wrong. But let me reassure Nigerians that will conduct elections. It's better for INEC to conduct elections that we all believe that is free and fair. It's quite regrettable that they have to reschedule elections. For us who are politicians, it's more painful because that means more tension, more this, more that, more sleepless nights and meetings, endless meetings. But even with that, it's better that elections are done in a way that Nigerians will at least believe that the elections are credible. If you, for example, I mentioned that in some states, Lagos State, Ogun State, as at that time, have less than 40% PVCs that were distributed. Less than 40%, both Lagos and Ogun State. Some states about 50. The tallies I'm hearing now have improved. So it's only proper that Nigerians be given the opportunity to vote. And especially we are coming from a culture where people don't used to care about how people get into offices, where people manipulate electoral processes. I can ask, if I ask any of you whether you voted 2007 and 2003, I'm not sure any of you even voted.
Are you sure we vote now?
But you voted 2011. And so let us, if we are coming from a culture where people don't even vote and all kinds of things happen, to a culture where we want every Nigerian, I want a situation where every Nigerian must vote. That is my commitment. But it may be difficult. INEC may have some logistic challenges. But at least, even if they cannot distribute the PVCs 100%, the percentage should be fairly high so that Nigerians will believe in the process.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and thank you for watching. I think we can quote you on this, that Nigeria, there will be sworn in as, somebody will be sworn in as president on May 29, 2014.
We'll
a president, May 29, 2015.